What began as stickball, a Native American Indian contest played by tribal warriors for training, recreation, and religious reasons, has developed over the years into the interscholastic, professional, and international sport known as lacrosse. There are lots of interesting aspects about how this game came to be, but I will only be focusing on where it originated, how it became popular, and where lacrosse is today. Lacrosse has grown across the nation to become one of the most intense and popular games known today. Lacrosse started in the mid-18th century by the Native Americans in the northern region of America. The tribe that started it all was the Algonquians. St. Lawrence was the area of the main playing grounds, but eventually other tribes started to join in, so they expanded to the Great Lakes, covering most of the eastern region of America. Lacrosse was strongly rooted in the Native religion. In the beginning of each lacrosse game, all the players would reach their sticks up to the sky and chant as loud as they could in hopes to get the attention of the gods. To heal the sick. This game was also played to resolve conflicts within the tribe. Whoever won the game won the argument. Though this sounds like an easy way to resolve problems, it took a lot of hard work in order to win. The field they played on could range from 1 mile to 15 miles in length, with no boundaries. And the game itself could last for days, ending at sundown and beginning the next day when the sun rose again. Some tribes used a rock or tree for a goal. Others used 2 poles, and you had to get the ball between the poles in order to get a point. On each team, you could have from 100 to 1,000 players, each using a wooden stick with a net on the end to transport the ball. The basic rule of the game was that the ball could never be touched by a human hand. To start the game, the ball was tossed up in the air and the players had to fight for it to gain possession. Evolution into the modern game started in 1636 when Jean de Brebeuf documented a contest in what is now known as Ontario, Canada. The game was examined and adopted, and by the 1800s, French pioneers started to eagerly play the game of lacrosse. In 1856, the Montreal Lacrosse Club was discovered with the first set of handwritten rules. These were later changed in 1867 by the father of modern-day lacrosse, known as George Beers. He revised a set of rules that was soon adopted by the National Lacrosse Association of Canada. These rules include the downsizing of both the team and the field, the introduction of the rubber ball, and the redesigned stick that was now made out of titanium instead of wood. Many people believe that the national sport of Canada is hockey, when, in fact, the actual national game is lacrosse and has been ever since 1860. According to the official U.S. lacrosse website, lacrosse is the fastest growing team sport in the nation. 77% of America's youth population started playing in the year 2006, and up to 400,000 youth participants in the year 2012. No sport has ever grown as rapidly as this one has in the span of just 10 years. In 1877, New York University was the first college to create a lacrosse team. The first high schools to have a lacrosse team were Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire and Lawrenceville School in New Jersey. Today, there are 671 college teams and 1,200 high school teams from coast to coast. The field today no longer ranges to 15 miles. It is now a 110 by 60 meter field. Instead of having 100 to 1,000 players per team, there are now 12 players on the field for women and 10 players on the field for men. Today, the game is not played for religious reasons and is not used to resolve conflicts. The game is played simply for the thrill of it. Nature is not used for goals anymore. The goal is shaped like a triangle with a white net hooked onto it. It is much more efficient than random objects in the forest. According to an article in the New York Times, lacrosse has become the fastest growing sport in the nation. What started out as a game mainly played in just the northern parts of America, lacrosse has spread all across to as far as California and hitting all the states in between. Other countries around the world have also taken a liking to this sport. Australia, Japan, England, Czech Republic, Germany, Scotland, and Sweden are just a few on the list. The game that began as stickball, being played to resolve conflicts and cure the sick, played by the Native American tribes, has now spread like wildfire throughout the years and made its way to not only America, but many parts of the world. Though the game has been changed and modified a few times, lacrosse is and always will be an exhilarating sport to not only play, but watch. Thank you.